Today we visit an amazing public garden with a special emphasis on evaluating the latest plants. You won't want to miss it, so stay tuned as we garden smart from Kentucky.
DRAM has been providing professional gardeners with equipment for over 65 years. DRAM products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. DRAM for lawn and garden. Available at garden centers near you.
Bring the outdoors into your everyday life. Bass Pro Shops can outfit all your adventures, even those in your backyard. Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here.
Eric Johnson joins Alki Tours as they sail right into the pages of a gardening storybook in Holland and Belgium. Information available at alkitours.com. Alki Tours, a proud sponsor of GardenSMART.
The Jaguar F-Pace.
This week on GardenSMART, we travel to Crestwood, Kentucky to visit an internationally recognized center for gardening, plants, and education, Yew Dell Botanical Gardens. Originally the home, gardens, and commercial nursery of the late Theodore Klein and his family, Yew Dell now offers the public exceptional display gardens, an ambitious slate of education programs, and community events. Eric will be joined by the Executive Director, Paul Capaiello. Dr. Capaiello is highly regarded as a lecturer, writer, plant collector, teacher, researcher, garden designer, and gardener. He is known internationally for his work on selection, introduction, and evaluation of new ornamental plants for the landscape. With Tennessee nurseryman Don Shadow, he co-authored Dogwoods, the first major book on the genus Cornus.
Paul, welcome to the show.
Glad to have you here.
I love kitchen gardens. I think as far as display gardens go, they're so effective at showing people, what can be done with gardening, and also getting people excited about getting into gardening. I think especially for the younger generation, showing them that this is where tomatoes come from, these shrubs, these vines, beans, they grow either on long vines or little shrubs, and being able to actually interact with something that you've grown that now is going to be the food that ends up on your plate.
Right.
Really neat way for people to experience horticulture.
Yeah, this is a great spot. This is right along our main entrance, and so everyone walks past here. And so be able to throw some things out here that, like you say, give people an idea where things come from. In my experience, anytime you can get a kid to grow something, they eat it. It doesn't matter what it is. You bring it home from the grocery store, it's not as exciting, but if you pull it out of the garden, then it's exciting and it's something they've grown. And so we used this space as a place to just demonstrate and show different types of plants, maybe sometimes plants people wouldn't think about growing in a kitchen garden.
Right.
But we want it to be attractive as well as functional, and there's not really enough space here to do a huge garden and a tremendous array of plants, so we sort of just try to highlight some fun things here and there.
That's great, and as you said, there's a tremendous amount of interest that can be part of a kitchen garden. It's not just all a bunch of shades of green, but there's some really, really neat plants. Of course, at Yew Dell, one thing you're known for is evaluating plants that oftentimes are not in trade. And I want you to share some of those with us today, some of the ones you're really excited about.
Sure, well, I'll start on this side. The big one, the banana, that's actually a cold hardy banana. That will actually live up in the Indianapolis area.
Wow.
And we don't take it in, we just cut it back. We don't even honestly mulch it in the winter. We just wait till the frost hits the leaves a little bit, cut it back, clean it up a little bit, and in the following spring it just explodes out of the ground and gets 15, 18 feet tall, and it's just this huge tropical looking thing. We don't get a whole lot of bananas. Every once in a while we have a long enough season that we get a few, but it's just one thing that we can point to as something that can be grown that's a little bit different. Great texture in the garden. I mean, you can't beat that tropical look in the garden. On the trellis here, we've got Malabar spinach, which is not a true spinach, but it is edible. The small leaves can be used in soups and that kind of thing. But it's a fantastic annual that comes back from the ground from seed.
Wow.
We don't plant this, we actually just thin them out. And it's great color. I mean, deep green foliage, those purple stems, small pink blooms, and then it's easy to grow from seed.
It's a
We
really
plant
fast
these
grower
seeds.
too, right?
Yeah, I mean, by 4th of July, this thing is completely covered with vine, and so that's a great one. The rosemary that's in front, that's one of the more cold hardy ones. The variety is ARP, and that one's been in that barrel for several years. And, and that's one that's performed extremely well for us. And then of course the Swiss chard is just a no-brainer. In the fall garden, it's just such brilliant color. I think that's Bright Lights variety. It's mixtures of yellows, oranges, reds, burgundies, and it's just a tough one to beat in the garden.
Yeah, and there's also so much color variation there. You have orange, yellow stems, you know, even down to like this beautiful beet purple, and that's a wonderful plant to cook.
Yep.
It's a delicious eater.
The last one here is the red okra. We grow this one not to eat, we just grow it for the red pods because it's just such great color. It's on its way out now, but most people don't realize okra is in the hibiscus family, and it's got these great pale yellow hibiscus-like blooms, and then the big red pods that are just kind of fun to have. It's a completely different texture in the garden.
I also love the tunnels that you've built here, and it's a wonderful structure for, you know, you've got the Chinese noodle beans on this one. I could imagine also if you were growing something like cucumbers that, you know, they'd be easy to harvest as they'd be hanging into the tunnel. I want you to tell us about this structure because it looks like a really simple, fun, easy project for a home gardener.
Yeah, we've actually, as you mentioned, we've grown the dipping gourds and all kinds of other things on there that work well. But this is just, I mean, it is as practical and bare bones as I get. It's just basic T-posts that you can get in a number of sizes at any hardware store. And then these goat fence panels, these rigid fence panels you can buy at any farm supply store. I think they're 4 feet tall by about 16 feet long, and they're flexible enough that you just bend them over the top, and honestly, it's just tied together with zip ties.
Wow.
And it just makes a very simple, very sturdy trellis and tunnel. You can grow just about anything on it you want. It's tough enough, it can handle some weight, and it works really well.
It's great. You should have trademarked that.
Yeah, exactly.
Paul, your overview garden is one of the best views in the house. It overlooks this incredible meadow, and of course we can see miles out to the mountains.
Yeah, this is a great spot. This is one of the few actually brand new gardens that's been put in. Most of the garden work here at Yew Dell has been redoing gardens that had been existing. But this is a garden we did a number of years ago, and it was really to display plants in a big open space and to just trial new plants, test new things, and display them to the public.
Yeah, and a trial garden is so important from the standpoint of introducing people to what works in a natural setting. And of course, you guys have gone to some significant effort to also make your trial garden look beautiful, like, you know, something that is designed. Many of them are just rows of plants that are all the same, you know, genus or species. And you've really integrated these perennials and woody ornamentals into these beds that it's also a very enjoyable experience.
Well, we always say we design gardens backwards at Yew Dell. Rather than coming up with a design and going out and looking for the plants for that design, we start with the plants because that's our whole mission, is collecting and evaluating. And we come up with a big group of plants we want to evaluate, and then we sit down and say, okay, how do we make this look good? But I think it's the way a lot of people garden at home.
Right,
I mean, you never look at a plant and don't buy it because you don't have room for it. You buy it and you bring it home and you figure out where to put it.
Well, let's talk about some of the plants you've got here. There's some wonderful like fall bloomers and of course some plants that are already passed. And tell us about these.
Well, one of my favorites is the aromatic asters. It's a locally native Aster oblongifolius, and it blooms September, October. There are varieties that are deep pinks, deep sort of lavender blues. The thing I like about them is they don't need to be pinched or cut back. They're real sturdy, compact plants that hold up well all season. And then they give you this great blast in the fall when everything else is starting to look tired. And I think that one may be Radon's favorite, which is one of our favorites. The Calicarpas we're big fans of, that amethyst fruit in the fall. It's just sort of a good, dependable, durable plant all summer long. It blooms on new growth, so you can cut it back if you want, and it comes out, it flowers, it fruits, and it gives you great color, really August into almost after Thanksgiving, and that's one that we have a lot of use of out here.
That's a great native plant. Also, it attracts birds, and so you get the wildlife impact from those.
Yeah, this garden really serves a lot of purposes. It's not just display and evaluation of plants, but we do a big hummingbird festival in the summer, and some of the plants out here are good hummingbird plants, like some of the herbaceous hibiscus that attract hummingbirds all through the season and do very well. One of our favorites for texture is the fine-leafed Amsonias. Amsonia hubrichtii is a very popular one. The Arkansas Amsonia. This one's a little different. It's Amsonia tabernae montana variety salicifolia, which is a ridiculous mouthful of plant name, but it's a little finer texture than the straight species. Has fantastic bright gold fall color, and there's nice pale blue flowers in the spring, and it does extremely well here. This is very shallow soil. Okay. It's heavy clay soil over limestone, and so it's a tough spot, but all the plants out here are things that are really durable.
Right, right. Let's talk about some of the other woody ornamentals to see. You've got Physocarpus and a few hydrangeas as well.
Yeah, we do a lot of cutback shrubs in these summer beds, and the dark-leafed Physocarpus, the 9-barks, summer wine is one that we love because it's just such a good, durable performer. And by cutting them back every year, you get this really great vigorous growth, and you get better stem color and better foliage color. And then with the hydrangeas, of course, Annabelle has been around forever. That's a great new wood bloomer, so you can cut that one back to the ground. And then on the far left, I love the Lesbedizas, right. The woody bush clovers. They are tough. They will grow. I mean, if you can't grow Lesbediza, it's time to put in a tennis court.
That's an actual brown thumb.
It is. It is. But that's a tough one because it makes a 3 to 5 foot tall shrub that's even a little bit wider in one growing season, right. And it blooms in September and looks great all season long.
That beautiful pink flowers.
Yeah, it's tough to beat.
Yeah, great kind of glaucous, almost bluish foliage. Yeah, well, this is wonderful. Do you want to talk a little bit about the prairie that you've got going in here as well?
Yeah, behind this overlook garden, there's about 4 acres that we're just starting to work on now, and that'll turn into a big native pollinator meadow. It'll be a mix of grasses and forbs, tall grasses, short grasses, and flowering plants as well. And it's really just something that we can use both as a beautiful display because up here in the overlook you'll have 4 acres of this beautiful flowering and grass meadow in front of you, but it'll also be great for supporting local pollinator populations. We've got honeybees, we keep hives here, but other native pollinators as well.
Wonderful. Well, we've got to come back and see that.
That'd be good. In another year or two it'll be perfect.
Paul, your glass house is a very important part of plant evaluation on a year-round basis. In fact, right now it's full of many of these beautiful succulents that you use mostly for containers around the property, right?
We do. We grow a lot of mixed containers out around the grounds, but one of the things that's been hugely popular with visitors as well as with our staff, because they're so easy to maintain, are these tropical succulents. Everything from agaves to echeverias and various cactus types. They go so long without any water. I mean, some summers we barely even water them, but they're available in such amazing colors. There's reds and burgundies and blues and greens and yellows, and you can make some fantastic mixed containers. And what we call them is the containers that'll still be alive when you come home from summer vacation, because they can handle it.
Yeah, and there's so much amazing breeding work that's going on in this field, and these are, as you said, they're super durable plants, and so working them into what we're doing in our home gardens makes a lot of sense. Many of these will be around for years and years and years, and even the ones that are more short-lived, as you said, there's incredible variations in colors, right. And many of these are beautiful in bloom too.
They can be beautiful in bloom, and they work in a lot of different ways. We use some we take out of the greenhouse here. We'll overwinter them here, and then we bring them outside and we'll actually plant them in the ground for the summer. Some of them we'll put out in containers, and when you mix these colors and these textures with beautiful, colorful, glazed containers, you can make some fantastic compositions. So it gives you a lot of flexibility in the garden, and you get a lot of bang for something that doesn't take a whole lot of maintenance buck inside and outside.
Right. What are some of the ones you're most excited about now?
Well, we love the agaves because they're just so much fun. Texturally, they're amazing. Things like agave jaws with these gigantic spines on them. They're just completely different. We love the agave hybrids with Manfreda, the Mangave hybrids. There's red spotted forms, there's blue foliaged forms, and as you mentioned, when they go to flower and they send that huge spike up, it's just something that's so dramatic in the garden. It's fun to play with.
I noticed that you've got some little propagation trays, and that's part of the ongoing education that happens here at Yew Dell with the community. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, greenhouses are like closets. You know, it doesn't matter how big they are, you fill them with stuff. And,
right.
And it's so much fun propagating these succulents, and it's so easily done that they multiply really quickly. And it's a great thing to be able to do at home because it doesn't take intermittent mist, it doesn't take bottom heat, all it takes is basically a pot of well-drained, gravelly, sandy growing mix, and you snip off a couple of succulent leaves, and most of them are very, very easy to root, and it's fun to do at home.
Right, and I think that's an exciting thing for any gardener of any age, is just learning that, especially this category of plants, but many plants that we have in the garden, it's not that difficult to take a little cutting, and in fact, if you want to build a population of that plant, you can have 30 more that then end up in another part of the garden. I think for me, it makes a lot of fun.
Yeah, and as gardeners, we're all inherently cheap, right? We want
That's
to make
right.
more of the plants we have, and we want to do it as economically as possible, but there's something just completely different about growing a plant that you propagated yourself.
Right.
Whether it's an oak from an acorn or an echeveria from a leaf cutting, it's just something that's special about gardening, that to do it yourself from scratch.
Paul, there are so many changes that have occurred at Yew Dell since we were here last, and it in some ways looks like a completely different place. And the Pavilion is one of the latest expansions. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a great new facility. Rental events generate important revenue for us to keep the doors open and keep this place operating. And what we used to do is when people had weddings or big corporate events out here, there was a big gravel slab on the ground, and it sat there all week, and the rental tents would go up on Thursday or Friday, they'd come down on Monday, and it's a lot of wear and tear on the grounds and a lot of wear and tear on the staff. So we decided to go ahead and build a permanent structure. We work with a great architectural firm in town, De Leon and Primer. We've worked with them on all of our architectural projects, and they're just incredibly creative to come up with things that fit in Yew Dell, but are also recognizable immediately as something that's different. And so we built this structure that's got the permanent cover, it's got all the lighting and the fans and the power and the roll-down fabric sides, and it just makes life easier for people having events. It makes life much easier for us as well.
Right, and the view that they have from the Pavilion is this amazing terraced garden, and once again, it's a display garden, like pretty much any planting at Yew Dell. And you've got some really fascinating plants here that I'd like for you to run through with us.
So the original plan was this was just going to be a grass hillside for overflow blanket seating for concerts, but we just couldn't bear to have that much space without cool plants in it.
Yeah.
And so we've put together a fun mix of plants. It includes tropicals, it includes hardy shrubs, hardy perennials, and pretty much everything that we could fit in this space. A few that are really showing off right now, this Salvia leucantha that for us really is not reliably cold hardy, it's really more of an annual. We'll take cuttings and bring it into the greenhouse and propagate it for next year, but nice bright silvery green foliage all summer and nothing eats it, and then these intense purple blooms that really started the end of August, 1st of September, and for us, obviously that time of year things are starting to get tired in the garden.
Right.
So to have something like that really jump is really outstanding. The hillside Sheffield pink mum, which unlike the pot mums, the yellows and the oranges that people buy by the billions this time of year, this is actually a garden plant.
Right.
As opposed to just a seasonal plant that dies shortly after you put it in the ground. And it overwinters, it comes back every year. It doesn't need to be pinched back. It holds up really well. And then in the fall, we get these beautiful pale pink blooms that are fragrant, that attract all kinds of pollinators. And it's again, it's a garden plant as opposed to a pot plant that's a short rotation plant.
One thing I like too in this border is you have this kind of repeated tropical theme, and that contrast of these beautiful big tropical leaves like on the cannas and the bananas is great against the more fine foliage and then a lot of the fun colors that are going on here. And I, like I said, I love what you're doing with the cannas.
I mean, I love foliage anyway for texture and for color, and the dark foliage cannas are perfect for that. They're so tough and they're durable and they make such an impact. Now in our climate in Louisville, you pretty much have to dig your cannas if you want to have them reliable in next year. We always say if you want to predict a terrible cold winter, leave your cannas in the ground, because then you know it'll get cold and you lose them all. Every year you dig them, you have a nice warm winter and you say, well, we could have left them. But we do dig them every year, and they're pretty easy to overwinter. I mean, we wait till a frost hits the tops, then we sort of cut them back, we dig them out, and really we just bare root that fleshy underground portion. We let them sit on a bench for a week or two to just dry out, and then we just throw them in a barrel in the basement of the office through much of the winter, and then maybe in February we'll pot them up in the greenhouse and get them started so that they're a reasonable size come next spring. And the bananas, we do the same thing. I mean, the bananas, they'll get frosted, we'll cut back the tops, and then literally we throw them in empty barrels. We let them sit there in the basement all winter until they reach about 98 on the dead plant meter, which means they're almost dead. We just can't bear to leave them any longer. And then we pull them out, pot them up in the greenhouse. And we do that for a couple reasons. One is that by doing that, you get rid of a lot of the pests that are trying to overwinter in all those little axils here and there. But the other is, quite honestly, it just saves us a lot of time and labor. We don't have to keep them growing in the greenhouse all through the winter. But by starting them sometime in February, they really get going and they get a nice start for the spring.
Right. Now, there are a couple of other really neat plants you've got here, and some of these are past seasons. We're a little bit later in the year right now, but there's a wonderful aster you've got that's super compact, and in fact, like I said, it looks like it's got the form of a tight sponge. Really neat plant.
Yeah, that's another one of the fragrant asters. Aster longifolius, the variety in this garden is October Skies, which is a late blooming pale blue, kind of a sky blue color. And it's tough as nails, and it just makes a very sturdy mound. You don't have to worry about pinching. You know, a lot of the tall asters get kind of black foliage and nasty on the bottom, and these are just tough and nice green foliage right to the base, and really require very little maintenance, and they do extremely well here. The other one that's finished flowering now, but is a great one, is the daylily we have in the garden here. The name is Autumn Minaret. And I mean, it's literally like a 6 to 7.5 foot tall daylily. And when you plant it in a big mass, it really makes quite an effect. As an individual flower, it's kind of small, but these tall, wiry stems, this whole garden just sort of seems to move when the breeze blows. And it's one that we love in big masses.
You know, it's like all the gardens here at Yew Dell, you've done an amazing job of making it a very useful trial garden, if you will, but then also a beautiful display and public garden, which, you know, is got to have its challenges. But every time I visit here, you know, every single year you can just feel the maturity of the garden and how, you know, I feel like you're getting better and better at that, which is a really, I think, a very complicated type of gardening, but a very enjoyable one.
Well, we garden here the way that we do at home.
Yeah.
We never have an empty space that we don't find a plant for, and so it's always fun just trying something new, and if it works, great, we tell everybody about it, and if it doesn't work, well, they get to see it.
Right. It's wonderful. Paul, we've had an amazing day with you. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us.
Well, thanks for being here. We always love having you.
Each week we travel the country north to south, east to west, visiting some of the most exciting gardens, as well as talking to industry horticulturalists about design principles, new plants, and also how you can be more successful with your home garden. Next year we'll be visiting some very special gardens. Visit our website at GardenSMART.com to find out how you can join us as we garden smart in Europe.
Dram has been providing professional gardeners with equipment for over 65 years. Dram products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. Dram for lawn and garden. Available at garden centers near you.
Bring the outdoors into your everyday life. Bass Pro Shops can outfit all your adventures, even those in your backyard. Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here.
Eric Johnson joins Alki Tours as they sail right into the pages of a gardening storybook in Holland and Belgium. Information available at alkitours.com. Alki Tours, a proud sponsor of GardenSMART.
The Jaguar F-Pace.
We spent the day today with a world-renowned horticulturalist who has spent his career finding and evaluating the next generation of great garden plants. If you have questions about anything you've seen today, visit us on the web at GardenSMART.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember, even if you're a master gardener, there's always more to learn. So join us next week for more great gardening tips and ideas as we garden smart.